Good morning from Death Valley National Park. Julie and I are here at Zabriskie Point trailhead. I'm going to turn around because it's kind of windy. It's about 8:30 on April 9th, 2018. Today we're going to try and do the Golden Canyon and Gower Gulch loop. It's really windy, so I'm hoping we don't get too much wind noise today. Zabriskie Point is up this way. We're going to head off this way. Well, not long after you leave the parking lot, you drop down into these mounds. Little valley of caliche mounds on either side. It's supposed to be around 95 today in Furnace Creek, which is the nearest town to us here. So we're getting a fairly early start for us. We had to drive about an hour to get here. It's 8:30 now. 95 degrees in April. Can't imagine what it's like in July. So after half a mile leaving the Zabriskie Point trailhead, you come to Zabriskie Point Junction. So we're 1.3 miles from the Zabriskie Point trailhead. We're at Gower Gulch Junction. If we continue straight down the wash, we'll be at the Golden Canyon trailhead in 2.2 miles. You could go to the right also via Golden Canyon and be at the same place in 2.1 miles. But we wanted to make this a loop, so we're going to continue down Gower Gulch over to Golden Canyon trailhead. This cuts through the Badlands, what they consider the Badlands. Not much growing around here. You can see in the hills here, there's not a plant to be seen. We're in the area now where there are several borax mines. It looks like that might be one of the tunnels there. I can see it's gated off. There's also a trail that goes all the way up this one. Don't know where that goes. I think there are some other mines in this area too. The hills are changing a little bit from that light brown mud to more of a rock now. Kind of looks like a dog's head if you use your imagination a little bit. Like his mug looking up at the top of the mountain. Well, the Gower Gulch is becoming a little more interesting. Shade feels good. Yeah, you got some greens and reds. This is near the artist's palette area too, so you get these green colors and different shades of rocks. Canyon's getting a little narrower. There's Death Valley. There's Telescope Peak. So you come up to a falls here. It looks like it's about a 40-footer, maybe a little more. There is a trail that goes around it though. It looks like you might be able to climb down it. It looks pretty slick though too, slick rock. We're going to go around. So this is the connector trail that goes over to Golden Canyon trailhead. It's about a mile over here. This is along the lower portion of our hike today. Just looking out at Death Valley, a lot of green areas out there. Looking north, looking south, not so much. Just Telescope Peak and a bunch of salt flats. So we're here at the Golden Canyon trailhead. It took us about an hour and 45 minutes to get here from Zabriskie Point. Looks like it's pretty busy today. Let's go see what we find. Here you can see the remnants of a paved road that used to go through Golden Canyon. It dates back to 1929. It was originally opened up and developed by Bob Eichbaum. Look at the slant on all these rocks that raised up. It used to be a lake bed. And then if you look at the colors in some of this stuff too, color band. Well, as we continue up Golden Canyon, Red Cathedral becomes visible. Interesting red formation with a lot of erosion. So we're going to try one of the side canyons here off of the main canyon and see what we find. Well, we're off on another side canyon. See what we find on this one. Well, we're turning around, kind of more of the same. So here we are at Red Cathedral Junction. So Red Cathedral is 1/2 mile the way we've been going up the canyon. And if we were to take this fork, this would bring us back to Zabriskie Point where we started. So we can go towards Red Cathedral and we'll have to backtrack to this point where we are now to get back to Zabriskie where we started. There's an interesting looking structure there. Well, this area where we are at right now is the area where the old road used to end, and this ladder has been buried in a landslide here, and you have to kind of crawl through some spaces here to get through to the end of this, but it's kind of a neat area. Here we are in the Red Cathedral. It's a big round area here, straight up. Looks like maybe a couple hundred feet. It's a semicircular affair. It's like a good spot to eat lunch. Got a nice view of Telescope Peak out there even. Okay, now we're back from Red Cathedral to the Red Cathedral Junction, and now we're going to go up to the Zabriskie Point trailhead, 1.9 miles this way. Well, we're in the Badlands, that's for sure. Nothing grows out here. Not one thing. Well, there's over towards Red Cathedral again. Here's the trail we're going on. I guess this is Manly Beacon, huh, Julie? This is Manly Beacon. Boy, that thing huge. Hard to get the scope of it when you're sitting here with the camera, but man, that is some big rock wall. There's looking back at Manly Beacon. I gotta say, it's pretty awesome when you're up close to it. Okay, here we are at Badlands Junction. Zabriskie Point, where we came from, 1.1 mile to our left. and Zabriskie Point via Gower Gulch is 1.6 miles straight ahead. Well, we came down the gulch, so let's go back this way. I think this one climbs up a little higher, and there's probably not going to be any shade, but let's tough it out for 1.1 miles. I don't really understand why nothing grows here, but I'm sure there's a reason. No shade either. There's the backside of Manly Beacon and the Red Cathedral area. We're going up, up and away. There's back at Manly again. Here's up to Zabriskie Point, the view area over there. Suppose we could have been lazy and just gone there and then back to the car, but for some reason we never seem to do that. So we're almost there. Well, we're just about back to the Zabriskie Point trailhead. Our hike today was 8.5 miles, and it was 1,600 feet of elevation gain, and it took us about 4.5 hours. So that's the timeline. It's really hot. It was about 95 degrees out here today. It's pretty cool, although the last part from Golden Canyon over to Manly Beacon and that area was probably the neatest part of it. So anyway, Julie and I thank you for watching the video, and as always, happy hiking.